The Siege of Fort William Henry is a tale of violence, greed, misunderstanding, cowardice, and betrayal. But above all, it relates a clash of civilizations. 3 distinct parties were involved: the Europeans, the Indians, and the American colonists. All 3 had representatives on both sides. The French fought alongside the Canadian militia, Algonquian-speaking tribes of the Pays de Nord, or High Country, and domesticated Indians of the St. Lawrence Valley. The British were supported by provincial militia from Massachusetts, Connecticut, New Hampshire, New York, and New Jersey, and a handful of Iroquois warriors from the Mohawk River Valley. Neither alliance was without difficulties. The European elite lived by an archaic code of honor. They saw themselves as innately superior to the provincials and the savages, and were part of a well-established hierarchy and unquestioningly followed the orders of their kings. The leading Americans, by contrast, were individualists, motivated by financial gain, political and religious freedom, and the acquisition of land. The Indians, for their part, had no understanding of private ownership at all. For them, the land was its own master, a living organism ungovernable by man. And, while the warriors had a well-developed sense of honor, their code was very different from the Europeans indeed. To understand how this web of alliances was first spun, it is necessary to look back 200 years before the siege began, a time when North America was still largely untouched by Europeans, a time when fact merged with legend, a time when the Iroquois Confederacy began. In the mid-16th century, Daganoweda, a Huron brave, was born in a village on the northeast shores of Lake Ontario. In his youth, he experienced powerful visions of pan-Indian unity and began traveling through the primordial forests of Northeast America, spreading a mantra of the great law of peace to the scattered warlike tribes. In the Mohawk Valley, in what would become New York State, Daganoweda's preaching found fertile ground, and a loose alliance of 5 Iroquoian nations, the Mohawk, Oneida, Onondaga, Cayuga, and Seneca, was formed. United by a common culture and linguistic roots, the Iroquois Confederacy came to dominate Northeast America. This omnipotence resulted from 3 factors: the tribe's central location, which gave them access to the Great Lakes via the Mohawk Valley, the St. Lawrence Basin via the Lake George-Lake Champlain corridor, and the Atlantic coast via the Hudson River, the range and impact of the Iroquois raiding parties, and their ability to present a united front, an unprecedented achievement among the anarchic tribes of the region.